Girlfriend's Chat Corner. I am your girl Inga, your host. I have in the house today Miss Shannon, Anderson-Hammonds.
That's it.
I got it. You guys, Miss Shannon Hammond, Anderson-Hammonds. I'm gonna say, can I say Shannon?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just gonna say Shannon. I'm messing the name up.
Yeah.
But she is a fitness guru, and also, well, you don't want to call me guru. Whatever.
Just a fitness enthusiast.
She's a fitness enthusiast. She's the Walk to Club.
Yep.
Walk to Fit Club. And then she has Yana, which is her new business that you started up. It's about mental health. What does Yana stand for again, please?
So Yana stands for You Are Not Alone.
You are not alone. So we're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff today, like we always do. But what we do at the beginning of the show, icebreaker. So she was agreeing to me to play this game. She was agreeing to play this game with me, you know. And usually my partner in crime, which is Ingrid, always does it with me. She sings the parts while I say the parts. So I'm going to say out a sentence of a song, and you gotta guess what the song is. Is that good?
Okay.
All right, good. Are you good with music?
Not today's music.
This is not the days. I'm old school.
Okay. Well, we'll see ya.
All right. All right, y'all.
Word.
So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to say out a song. Not sing it. I'm going to read out the song. And Miss Shannon is going to say what the song is, what she thinks it is. Okay? And I will give you a hint if you need it. Okay? The first one. It's been 3 weeks since you were looking for that friend. The one that you let hit and never call again. Remember when you was out, he was about the Benjamins?
Can I get a little help here?
Girl, you know you better watch out. Some guys. See, English.
Oh,
that thing. There you go.
Okay. I got it.
That was pretty good though. I mean, okay, so remember the beginning of the song, it says, it's been a week since you let him hit. Remember that part of the song?
I didn't know she said that.
Yeah, girl, it's a good song. Okay, so the next song. I need to put my damn glasses on, I don't have it. Okay, I will love you. I will love you anymore, even if I cannot say. I think you were the one for me. Here's where you want to be. I just want to satisfy you.
I need a hint.
Sweet thing. Sweet thing. Don't you know you're my everything?
I need a lighter.
Whoa, whoa, sweet thing. Okay, so that, you know, Ingrid does all the singing part, and all I gotta do is I read it and she sings it.
Okay.
Last song, all right? You ready? Now you gotta get this one, all right? It's this is a silly game that forces you to act this way, forces you to scream my name. Shannon!
Pat, you helping me? Come on, Pat, help me out.
X Factor, Lauryn Hill.
Oh, girl, no. I'm not a huge Lauryn Hill fan.
You're not a huge.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
I know this conversation might be cut short. I said that.
You don't like? Okay, do you like Mary J. Blige?
I do.
Okay, do you like Erykah Badu? So who's your favorite singer? What do you like?
I like Case.
Okay.
I like Tang.
Okay. The Britney song.
Mary J is cool. I love. I
So you listen to more of a man genre than you do with the women.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Is it that the women not singing what you want to hear, or because I know they think some women start to cry when they sing. You know.
That's not.
What X Factor is about a girl that's saying that, you know, this man, she loving this man, the man ain't loving her back, but when she goes away, he coming to pull her back, that kind of thing. And then the other song, Sweet Thing, she talking about a man and she being his sweet thing. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just like men's songs more. I don't know why. I just do, but a lot of old school type of I like Levert, you know.
I love Levert.
Like that type of
And
stuff.
the Levert fans in the house,
Like,
Levert.
like that's like my playlist and stuff like that.
Okay,
Even when I work out, I'm listening to like slow songs. It's
Okay.
crazy.
Well, you know what? Now that you say something, you know, when I'm in my spin class and I have class, it's mostly men's songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta change that. I got some women's songs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got some questions over there.
She said, I'll try and help. Just talking about the song.
Oh. Well, okay, so let's dig right into it, you know. So Shannon, I think I met you last year, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember where I met you.
I don't even know how we met.
You need a probably Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have came up on this unique new business, or is it just a group? What do you want to call it? Is it a community group or?
Well, it's more of a women's empowerment support group.
Okay.
And I'm trying to kind of get away from empowerment because a lot of times when you hear about empowerment or you go to empowerment seminars, you know, you get empowered for that one day
Right.
or for a couple of hours, and then it's diminished, right? And then it goes home. So mine is more of a support group for women who's going through struggles in life, maybe going through depression, but just need that good girlfriend to have that shoulder to, you know, cry and vent, talk about whatever struggles that they're going through and not feel any type of way, not feel any type of judgment, and be able to just get advice from other women that's going through that. So I created the Yana group, which stands for You Are Not Alone, to let other women know that they are not alone, because I go through my own struggles. I battle depression. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm a domestic violence survivor.
Oh, wow.
So I go through a lot of that myself, and I would always feel like I was alone in my own little bubble, in my own little struggle. Because you know, you look out and you see all these people and they're smiling and you're like, I know she ain't going through that. And that's the thing. But then people look at me and they like, you know, she got it going on, she this. But behind closed doors, I'm struggling,
Right,
you know?
right.
And then I'm like, I feel like I didn't have anybody to really call on or to talk to. So I just wanted to give that platform for women to feel like they can, because when I say that I understand, I can totally say that I understand and not just be saying the words. Like how people say, I'm praying for you, or thoughts and prayers, and they're just saying it just to be saying it. I'm really praying for those women because I understand that struggle.
Wow.
So that's why I wanted to really create that safe space for these women.
Okay. So, you know, let's go back into, you said that you want to talk about what happened to you.
Fine.
Okay, so I'm just, you know, because sometimes, you know, and I think that I can be that way too, you know, because you don't like letting people in.
Right.
That you don't know.
That you don't know.
Because the reason why is because we, for one, are our own worst critics. And I mean other people, we are. You're your own worst critic. And sometimes the protection is not letting people in to see that you have these issues, you've been through those types of things. So what empowered you, and I'm gonna say the word empowered, what helped you to say, you know what, this is not my fault. I want to talk about this. And even though you know other people are going through that, not everybody talks about it. Not everybody spits it out into the atmosphere. Once you put it out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
So what gives you the courage to do that? You know, to say, you know, I want to talk about what happened to me, and I want to help somebody else who's going through this thing too, help them with theirs too.
Well, for me, it was really like a few years ago where I was kind of just putting a little bit in pieces of my own story, being transparent out on social media. Just talking about, you know, I came from a domestic violence situation with my son's father, and just, you know, how I got out of it, and just really talking about it in bits and pieces. I felt like, and like I said, I was like, somebody has got to understand, even if they wasn't in a domestic violence situation,
Right.
but just emotional abuse or verbal abuse or any type of abuse or a toxic relationship. I'm like, I know somebody has got to understand what I'm going through.
And you're so right. Abuse does not have to be me put your hand on you. It don't have to be that way. It, you know, almost to the point that physical abuse and verbal abuse, verbal is probably even worse.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to beat you down to the point that you don't have any energy, or you lose your self-esteem, you don't have that don't came into play, or your courage, like, you know, maybe that person's right what they're saying about me. Maybe this is true.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can't be no one without you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know that sometimes people play into money. Say for instance, I've seen this happen a lot of different times And I guess even for me when I was younger, this is my second marriage. I was married before, and I remember a time where my first husband told me, "You're not going to be nothing without me."
Yeah.
And I believed him.
Yeah.
I believed it
Yeah.
because he said it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I'm not going to be able to have a roof over my head or a car to drive around in. That means I won't be able to do these kind of things. So you stay a little bit longer, but then the verbal abuse gets worse.
Yes.
Because you stay.
Mm-hmm.
And even though at 18 years old, that's how old I was when I was there, it took me 4 years to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I left, when I said enough is enough was enough.
Right.
No more. You know what I mean? But I don't know what turned on for me, but something turned on inside me. Say, you know what? You deserve better. And if he can't give you better, or if you can't give yourself better, then you need to leave.
Right. That's right.
So I left.
Yeah.
But it was not easy. It was not easy to leave, and it wasn't like, oh, you know what, I'm going to sleep. It wasn't like that.
Right.
It was a process.
Yeah, that's true.
A mental process to realize that, you know, God don't want this for you, and you can't want this for yourself.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was 19.
It's saying like around the same age.
So I was 19, and it took me about 5 years, and you know, it was with my son's father. So it was verbal and mental in the beginning, and then it became physical. And it took a long time, and I would leave and I would come back, and I was living in Dayton at the time because I was trying to rekindle a relationship with my father. So, and that really didn't pan out the way that I expected it to. So I just kind of gravitated to this man, and I felt like he was my everything.
Can I ask you,
Yeah.
Back up a little bit? You guys, I'm so sorry. We have a lot to talk about in this little bit of time that we have, but I want to touch on, because I think you and I have some things in common.
Yeah.
It sounds like we do. Your father, how did you try to connect with him?
Well, he was married to my mom, and then he left when I was 7. So we tried to have a relationship when I was a teenager. You know, I would visit up there because he lives in Dayton. So I would visit, but we just didn't mesh. You know, we just didn't have that communication skills. So we lost contact with each other. So when I was graduating high school.
Did you think that, you said that you guys didn't have that communication skill, but he's the adult.
Right.
You're the child.
Yeah. But
he's supposed to have that with you. He's supposed to make that happen.
He didn't know how to. So I think that's something from his own upbringing.
Okay.
That he just didn't know how to communicate. Like to this day, right now, I'm 46 years old, and we have a community. We talk every now and then, but even when we get off the phone, I'll say I love you, and he just have a hard time saying it back. But backing up to that, when I graduated high school, it was like, I want to try to have a relationship with my dad, so I'm going to move up here. So I moved to Dayton.
Wow.
I told my mom I was leaving, but it just didn't pan out. Like, we just didn't talk. We didn't have anything in common. We didn't talk about anything. So I met my son's dad, and I moved in with him.
Okay, that's where that connection came.
Yeah, because he gave me all of that what I was wanting. So, and then it just became verbal, and mental. Like, he was telling me how ugly I was.
Oh my gosh.
My teeth at the time was all jacked up, so he was talking about my teeth. I mean, he talked about how big my nose was. He was really like tearing down my self-esteem, and he did.
But he liked it, huh?
Yeah, but he liked it.
He liked it.
So, I had my son, and that's when, like, when I got pregnant, that's when the abuse started happening, even when I was pregnant. So I would leave, I would come back, I would come back to my mom's because, I'm from Cincinnati, so I would come back to Cincinnati, but then he would come and get me, and I would keep going back. So it was a long process. And he put so much fear in me. The last time, when I was getting ready to leave, like, he hit me, he beat me up in front of my mother.
Oh my gosh.
And he pushed her, and then he took my son. So it was 4 or 5 years of all of this abuse. And then when I finally left, I was so scared. Like, I stayed in my sister's house, and I would keep all the blinds closed, I would keep the doors locked, and my son was 3 at the time. And they was like, no, you can't live like this. So, and I had to get out. So they put me on a Greyhound bus with just the clothes on our back. In the middle of the night, me and my son, and we went to go live in California with my uncle.
Okay.
With the uncle I didn't even know.
Oh, wow.
He was my dad's brother.
Right.
So he was just like, hey, they can come and stay here. So we left and stayed with him for about 6 months, and I was just like, I can't keep running. So I came back and we just started going through court battles. It was a mess, like for like.
Did you come back strong? Were you stronger?
I felt like I was a little bit stronger, but then I jumped into a relationship.
Okay.
You know, so it was like I jumped into a relationship, which was my first husband. And then with that, I felt like, you know, he was giving me all this love and affection and attention, and then I became a stripper. You know, my husband was like my manager at the time, you know, and I was stripping, but then I was working a corporate job too. So I had like a double life. Mm-hmm. So he was
Now, what made you want? How'd that come about? Oh, I'm gonna be a stripper.
That did not come about like that. Okay. It was, you know, because he was putting that self-esteem. He was building me up. Then I'm thinking like, okay, he's like talking about how I had it going on. You know, we could make some money, we could do this,
so that was his idea.
Yeah,
that's my
so
point.
that was his idea. So, and then he was co-owner of a strip club that we used to have here.
There you go.
Okay, so we would go, and he was like, you know, oh, you could do this, you could do that. So I'm like, okay, we can make a little bit of money, you know, whatever. So I became a stripper, you know, but I was doing it in the evenings, and nobody know because I was still going to work, you know, in the daytime. I had to support a son and, you know, my family and all that. So he was so it was like mental abuse that I was going through, emotional, because even though he wasn't saying anything really bad to me, you were still abusing me because you putting your wife out there.
Right.
You're supposed to love me.
For a benefit.
For a benefit. So, you know, we got divorced and all that stuff because he actually had got one of the strippers pregnant.
Oh, I was going to ask you, so when did you realize that, okay, this may not be right either? Because you're still young.
Yeah, I was
still young.
Yeah, I was still young.
You know, you're not out of 20s.
Right.
So it's very easy to manipulate a young person. From the age of 18 to, I'm going to say, to the age of 18 to 26, most women can be manipulated. Especially if they are like you and I, didn't get that love from a father. And people think, well, you know, I'm a strong woman, I can raise my kids, but yes, you can, but don't.
Right.
If you have a person that you picked in your life to be your kid's father, and they're not abusive to you or the children, I think it's very important that you let that child see what a man is. If that person's a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's not a man, then that's something else you got to deal with. But if that person is, that child has to see what that is. But the whole time I think, you know, and I'm not a psychiatrist and nothing like that, but it sounds like me, because you always looking for that love that you from your father the whole entire time.
Absolutely.
But we don't know it.
Right.
We don't know that we're seeking out that love from the person you're supposed to be, the very first person you're supposed to be in love with is your dad.
Is your dad, absolutely.
And even though you was not around him, and I wasn't around my father either, you still, okay, what is that about? Why do I feel like I'm an alien? I have another person that's a part of me that helped me come into this world, but they want nothing to do with me.
Right.
And see, I was the same way with that too, because my dad actually recently died last year.
Wow.
I didn't go to his funeral though. And I think a lot of parts of me, and I'm sorry for my brothers if they're listening to the show, you know, but I'm gonna put it out there in the air because I don't care anymore. He's passed away anyway. But my dad, when he passed away, he died not knowing my husband, my children, not knowing me. But he raised a whole nother set of women, a whole nother set of daughters. And that hurt.
And that's the thing,
It hurt so bad when they called me, my brothers called me and said my dad passed away. The first thing that went through my mind is anger. I was so pissed. You died on me and did not come see me.
Right.
Never came to get to know me. I don't want nothing from you. You know what I mean? You never met my husband. You never met my children. So that anger just ran through my blood. My brother's like, Inga, you being this way, you being mean. And at the time, I was so boiling, Shannon, that I'm like, you know what? I don't care. He lived like an asshole, and he died like one too. And my brother, like, oh my gosh, he just said that. But you know, when a child, and right now I reverted back to that kid when he passed away on me. It felt the same way. I would knock on his door, he would hide from me, not open the door for me. So I get that part of it, and I'm not gonna let you expose something that I don't expose them, because that's not the way we gonna do it.
Right,
So
right.
that's what I'm saying. I just want to
Yeah.
let you know, don't feel like I'm letting you put yourself out here, because I'm gonna put mine out there too.
No.
But yeah, I was the same way too with my dad, and he had nothing to do with me. And then my children, my husband's father, rest his soul, he was a wonderful person. My husband had the best dad ever.
Yeah.
Of course everybody has their things, but he, took care of his family. So I learned, believe it or not, my husband and I've been married for 22 years, I think so, and I learned what a man is through my husband.
Yeah.
A man that I
Right.
married.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Right.
I learned how, when my husband raised our children, what a man looks like. Like,
Yeah.
oh, do they really comb little girls' hair? Do they really take them to school?
Yeah.
They really go spend time with them? Take them driving? Oh, I got none of that.
Yeah.
But I made sure that my kids had that. And my husband is just a wonderful person to, I mean, my daughter tell you my dad's the best person in the world.
Yeah.
She'll say that.
Right.
But I didn't get that, but it's either here or there.
Yeah, and that's how my dad, he married another woman, and she had kids, and he raised them. And then when I would go up there to try to still rekindle that relationship, I would see him, doing things with their kids, with her kids, and I'm sitting there like, hold up, and I feel some kind of way.
Right.
So there's still, even now, I feel like there's a void in my life and in my heart.
Right.
And it's really hard for me to be affectionate and say I love you, and even though my current husband now, we've been married for 11 years.
Wow.
He's an awesome husband.
Aww.
Like, he's very supportive. He's very
Hi, husband.
very everything.
Is he watching?
I don't know. He might not. But he's very supportive, and like you said, he showed me what a real man and what a real father, because I watched him with his son and helping raising my son. So it was like, wow.
That's
It's
what
like,
they do?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, and that's the thing with life. It's like, it's such a growth and it's such a growing process with life, and we have to deal with those hard things. And that's why I was saying, like, I always felt like I was alone. So I would never have thought, looking at you, that you was going through that. And just like me, you looking at me, and you would have never have thought that. So that's why I wanted to create that.
I do know this, because I meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I am a firm believer that everybody has a story.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I wouldn't know what you went through, but I know you went through something.
Yeah.
And I don't, when you meet people, whatever, it's like, you see that movie called Crash?
I haven't seen that.
Watch it.
Okay.
So it's about this movie that when you turn the corner and you meet somebody, come in contact with somebody, you don't know what they are going through.
Yeah.
They could have just buried their father, or had a domestic violence thing, but then all of a sudden they turn the corner, bump into you cussing them out.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie, it just talks about all people of all walks of life, and we just trying to be one person, to move on, to have a good life.
Yeah.
But sometimes life gets in the front of us.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. But I think over time, as I grow into my older age, I think I can find some kind of way to forgive my father, because I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to do it. Forgive him, because if I don't, I know it's going to be like a thing that eats me up.
Eat you up. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all my brothers are probably watching, but I'm sorry, brothers, but I know how it is.
Yeah.
And they know I speak my mind when it comes to different kinds of things. And I just think that it's something that I'm going to have to do to just,
To be able to heal and move on.
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Because believe it or not, my husband's like, oh my God, we're going to have like many talks about this every single day.
Yeah.
Like things like this. So, but one good thing I did do was give my kids a great day.
Right.
So I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to your not women empowerment. What's it called again? You said
Yana.
No. You said you don't want to call it empowerment.
I'm struggling with the word.
Okay, so we're going to say empowerment.
So I just say women's empowerment support.
Women's support group.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So when you were just sitting down thinking of a name for your support group, what made you pick Yana? Which I love the name. It's really cute.
Yeah. I mean, I have been talking about forming this group for quite some time, for a couple years, because I'm always really transparent about what I go through, maybe some bad days that I go through just on social media, because I'm still trying to heal.
Right.
I'm going through this healing journey, this healing process. So like I said, I always feel like I'm alone. When I go home, I'm alone. When you're out and about, sometimes you might feel like you're the only one in this room, by yourself. You're amongst all these people, but you still, it's some kind of weird energy feeling that you be like, I feel like I'm all by myself.
Right.
So I was just like, you are not alone. And then I just took those acronyms and I was like, Yana. So I thought that was a really pretty name. So I just wanted to just make it, you are not alone.
Now,
and it's a sister love group.
Now the sister love look. Okay, so if other ladies want, is it certain ladies or everybody can join your group?
Well, it's a secret group. So if people want to join, they have to inbox me, and then I send them an email that has like the description and what it all entails. Because I'm really big on trying to be protective over this group.
Right.
Because I don't want people just coming in lurking or taking information, because
that is the best thing that you're doing with that. Yeah.
So it's like, or people coming in and they may see somebody that they might have beef with, because I don't know, social media beef or whatever it is, and then they might want to take that information, what this other person is saying, and spew it out there. So I'm trying to do my best to protect my women that's on there.
Right.
So they just have to, kind of say, I agree to the terms of what I laid out in the email. And once they agree to it, then I send them an invite to the group, and then they're in the group. And then I would have I just started it in April. So I would have like a monthly meeting, but now I'm getting ready to scale it back into quarterly. So we have monthly meetings to where I have speakers come out, and they would talk about maybe, domestic violence survival, or like last weekend we had relationship edition. I had like Chris Styles, Aaron Kennebrew, and I had Erica Holston and Angel Green, so like relationship experts. And then like last month I had a young lady come from Indianapolis. She came down and talked about her story, because she served 14 years in jail.
Oh wow.
For a crime that for murder, for a crime that she did not commit. It was something that her boyfriend did. He murdered her child, but she took the rap for it. So she came down and talked about that story. So it's basically just trying to do monthly or like meetings to bring the women out from behind social media, and we all connect face to face and have that interaction. So I would do that. And then we have like a monthly fun event. So like this weekend we're doing a sip and paint.
Okay.
And last month I think we went bowling. And then next month we're just gonna do a wine and convo. So we're gonna go, meet up, and we're gonna go to Cooper's Hog and just chill and just really and I really wanna get to know these women. I don't want them to just think, oh, we're just gonna be in this group posting quotes and posting this. No, we need to get out, and we need to bond face to face with one another, interaction.
Right.
Because that's how we get to know each other, and that's how we get to grow and heal and bond with one another.
Right. Now, so you help all these women and you do all these different things for your group. It's drinking.
Yes.
So what do you do? And I've ran groups. I know what that entails and how that, because sometimes it can feel like I don't know if you've been there yet. I ran a group for 9 years, and sometimes you start feeling like, okay, you just got a lot of takers.
Yeah.
Because you're doing all this stuff and they just taking and not sticking nothing back in the pot. What do you do to help yourself? Other than do you have somebody that you're going to help you through it too? Yeah. Because you become a leader.
Yeah.
And then leaders are not supposed to have issues.
Right.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But and they forget sometimes, because you run the group. So do you have somebody that's helping you through it too? Because I don't want you to still feel alone.
Right.
Because I know how that group thing is, like, because you're just trying to give yourself and make them feel comfortable and make them feel loved, and but then you forget about yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I do have a girlfriend that I do go to.
Good.
So we talk all the time.
Good. You need that.
Yeah.
You
and we check in and all that good stuff. So that's really good. And then with the group, I work full time during the day. And then I train. I do personal train too.
Small business too.
Yeah. And then I do my Walk to Fit club. Yeah. And then for me,
if I did that Walk to Fit, she ain't no joke. Honey, I went to my car for just a few seconds
of that.
Oh, honey, she was
It's
gone.
like,
She was
okay.
gone. But it was so much fun. I had a good time.
Yeah.
And I think we did like 5 miles.
Yeah, we do anywhere between minimum 3 to 5
I'm
miles.
coming
is the
back.
max.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And honey, when I came back home, my husband was upstairs. I was like, I'm gonna go sleep. I was tired.
So I have to take the time for me. So I do a lot of, I go to the gym for myself, but I do that early in the morning. So I go like 2:30 in the morning before I
When
go
do
to
you
work.
sleep?
Yeah.
That's before you wake up.
Yeah. I only sleep, like I was telling you here, like I only work like, I only sleep like 5 hours a night now, it seems like. So it's like I go to bed.
Is that comfortable for you?
It's very comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's comfortable. Cause on Sundays I'm
It
done.
is done.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
done.
right.
So I go to the gym in the morning so that I get my workout in, and then I go home and I make my meals, and then I go to work. And then when I leave work, then I go train, or I go to the walking club, and then I go home, and then I go to bed early. So I go to bed I used to go to bed at 7:30 when I didn't have the walking club.
Right.
But now I go to bed no later than like 9 o'clock. And then I wake up at like 1:45, 2 o'clock,
To
and
go
then
to
I
the
go to
gym.
the gym.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so.
And then what time you leave the gym?
At 4:30.
Oh, so you're there 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm in 2 hours.
And then you go home, get ready for work.
Yeah, I go home, I start making my food, because I use like my air fryer and my Instant Pot, so I put all the stuff in there, and I go take my shower, put my clothes on. By the time all my food's done.
Girl, you are so routine.
It's structured.
Oh my God.
It's structured, and if it's off,
You are.
Yeah, I'm done.
You are. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's like,
Right.
and I'm in the bed like at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm asleep. And I'm
knocked out.
asleep.
Yeah. Wow. So so the name of the things you have now, Walk to Fit, Yana.
Yeah.
And what's the third one?
And then I do personal training on the side as
Okay.
well. So I have like 7 clients that I train. I used to train for 4 years, and then I took 6 months off this year.
Okay.
So I took 6 months because it was draining.
Right.
It was really draining, and it was
Not because of the people, because you're doing so much, right?
that, and sometimes it could be some of the people as well.
Okay.
Not to be facetious or anything like that, but I wanted more than the people that I was training.
Okay.
Wanted more for themselves. I put so much of my heart into things that I do,
Right.
and I wanted more than people wanted. So I had to step back, and
Right,
because it was
right,
like
right.
it was taking too much for me, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this, and I'm like, I have to protect my mental health
Oh, you do. My God,
because
yes.
I know myself with my own mental health. If I go down that depression road for a very long time, because I've attempted suicide before.
Oh.
So it's like I took some pills and overdosed and all that, and had to get my stomach pumped and all that. But it was.
Did you just not want to be here?
I just did not want to be here. Yeah, I just did not want to be here anymore. And now it's like, and that was back then when I was separated from my first husband. So that's when all that happened. And that's the thing, is because I know my mental state and my mental health. It's like I have to protect that at all costs.
No, you do.
At all costs, because I can't afford to let anybody take me down a road that's not good for me, or that's a toxic road.
Right.
So I lean back, and I have to fall back and just kind of regroup. And then I came back, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready.
And it's I know people. That's one thing that Black people don't talk about.
Black people don't talk.
We don't talk about that at all. And we all have people in our families, and I'm gonna say we all do. That may have either attempted that, talked about it, or whatever that is. But depression is real.
It's very real.
And also, too, depression is a part of life.
Yeah.
You won't be able to walk around on this earth and find somebody that has not been depressed. There's not one single person on this, there's not God that has not been depressed. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to have a life full of roads and roller coasters. And some people, when it comes to dealing with it, they think that there's no other way out.
Right.
The only way out is to go, I just can't deal with it.
Right.
You feel like you said before, you feel alone like that. And, I personally think that, if anybody's out there listening to this, you can connect with Shannon on Facebook, and she has the club. Is it only for women? Can men be involved?
If they want to be, but I'm really kind of focused more on the women, because I'm not a man.
Right.
I don't know, because a lot of men, they don't definitely want to talk about it at all. And I'm urging my husband to start his podcast because he has his barbershop.
Well, the
and his
reason why I
tattoo
asked that
shop, too.
question though is because
So no, right now it's mainly for women.
well, you know that some men they tend to side more with women. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you know you may have like transgenders or
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just trying to say that if you have somebody that can more recognize with women, would you let them in the group?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope you guys heard that part of it. You guys can reach Shannon on Facebook. Do you have a website?
No, not yet.
Okay, not a website.
Yeah.
You have
And I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
My Instagram is it's me Shannon, so it's period me period Shannon. I think that's it.
Okay.
It's me Shannon.
Okay. And then Facebook handle is?
Shannon Anderson-Hammonds.
Okay. So then is there one for Yana too by herself?
I do just have a Yana
But it's
open
private.
page, but I got an open page, a
Okay.
business page, so I
Okay.
do, so they can connect, they can like that page. But then if they want to be in the secret group page, they have to inbox me. Then
Okay, so
I'll
you
get their
can like
email.
hashtag Yana on her page, and then
Yes.
she can talk to you that way,
Yes.
and you can tell her your issue if you want to get into the group. Men involved if they are comfortable with women, that kind of thing like
Yeah.
that. You're more than comfortable. I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been really enjoying talking to you. We got so much in common.
Yes.
You never know how much things you have in common with somebody until you talk to them
Yes,
or whatever.
yes.
Anything else you want to talk about before we leave?
No.
Do we still have time? How much time we got?
Yeah, you got about 10 more minutes.
Oh, cool. We got 10 more minutes. All right. So let's talk about the walk to fit. Now, how'd that get started? Because your mom was there. Because I was like, was she walking with you?
No, my mom is not there. That was one of the other girls.
You call her mom?
Yeah, I was like, hey mom. Yeah, that was one of the other girls, Shahira. Her mom comes all the time. to our
Okay.
group.
Yeah, because she was walking, because she's a little bit behind, and she's walking off on her own.
Yeah,
whatever.
because
Right.
they'll just do their own little route, but they know how to get back.
Yeah,
so,
I see that. I see that.
But I started the Walk to Fit group about 4 years ago, actually. And because it was like, okay, I gotta do this cardio, and you know, I want to walk outside.
Excuse me, you can come jump on the bike with me.
I know. Girl, that bike be hurting my butt. I did a spin class before. I was like, I can't handle this. They was like, oh, you can get the cushion.
Girl, please, you got plenty muscle on that butt. Your butt gonna be okay.
But I started it about 4 years ago, and I was like, man, I just want to walk with people because I love being outside, like to do cardio.
Do you camp?
No,
Okay.
not that kind of.
Okay.
All right, not that. So yeah, and like I said, I took a hiatus from all of that, like these past 6 months. So I just brought it back and just got people coming in, walking with us and everything. So
Well, I tell you, that walk was amazing. We walked 5 miles. I thought, what the hell?
Yeah.
Where they going?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like we do a minimum, the minimum is 3 miles and the max is like 5 miles. So yeah,
But it was so much fun. I had such a good time. And then, but that killer hill in Oakley, was it? Oh my God. I said, and you was like, don't going. I said, oh my God, this hurts.
Yeah.
It was like an incline like this, y'all. I felt like I could like roll back and just roll down the hill. It was amazing.
And I do have a Walk to Fit group, so if anybody want to join the group, because we walk 4 times a week, so we do Monday
and they have
nights.
been there. You have been there too.
Yes, absolutely. So Monday, Wednesday nights, 6:30 p.m. and Saturday mornings we do 6 a.m.
Okay.
And on Sunday afternoons we do between 3:30 and 4. So we just meet at different locations, but I have this walk and the number 2 fit, and you can join that group.
Yes, I'm gonna do Saturdays because it's better for me.
Yeah.
And I'll do it before I come here.
Before you come here.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do. They'll come here and they go, you know, work out, or they go boot camp or whatever.
Yeah. But I'm like, oh my God, this girl, oh my God, she was flying down the street too, and want to do the whole thing. So my car was like to the side. I cheated. I walked up to the parking lot. I go home.
Yeah, they be going on side streets, and we get back. I'm like, there's no way that y'all got back sooner than we did.
Yeah, I cheated. Yeah. That's not. I cut right to Corey's parking lot. We got my car. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah, we be moving.
Now you know what else kind of things you do for fun then? I know all the work you do and things you go to work and you work out. So what kind of things you do for fun?
Nothing. That is my fun, actually. I don't do anything. Me and my husband, we're empty nesters.
Uh-huh.
He works all the time. I work all the time.
Now, you want to show his business? What is it?
Yeah, he's a tattoo artist. They call him Dirt.
Okay.
So he has his own business on Vine Street, across the street from Andy. So it's a tattoo shop and a barber shop.
Okay.
So it's called Barbers and Body Art.
You know, I've been wanting to get a tattoo forever. I've never. But I don't know what, because you got, once you put it on there, it's on there for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure out, like, and people like put bugs on there. You know,
It's got to mean something to you.
It has to mean
It has
something.
to mean
And
something
then,
to you.
I don't know what something that would mean a lot to me that I would tattoo on my body.
Yeah, I have my whole entire back is covered, and I got my side, my thigh, and I mean, I probably got over 60.
You probably just sit around, you guys like, let's go get tattooed.
I used to, and that's a cover up. Yeah, I used to do that. I'd be like, I'll think of something. I'm like, I'm gonna get tattooed. He'd be like, come on, let's go. So we'll go to the shop. And,
He loves doing it.
Yeah.
He loves doing it.
Oh, he's been tattooing for 22 years.
So, what's his specialty? Like, does he do faces or?
He do everything.
He does.
Yeah,
Really?
and he also does like artwork on the walls and stuff like that, and
Graffiti and all that stuff?
logos, everything, anything dealing with art he can do.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very, very talented.
Now, does he have a business name that you shout him out?
It's Barbers and Body Art.
Barbers.
Like a barber cut, like
Okay.
Barbers and Body Art.
Okay. You guys, if I remember, I'll put a tag in on the screen so you guys can see it. Somebody's saying something. No changing for me.
They said no camping for me.
No camping. Okay. I got no glasses on, you guys. You know how I am. I have
Without the
glasses.
camping.
No camping for me. You know what? Let me tell you something. So when my daughter was in fourth grade, and I'm not a camper, but I'll do things for my kids. So we went to a camping trip at a campsite up near Monroe. I can't think of the name of it. What's the name of that campsite, babe? I can't remember it. Anyway, so they had some kind of little tent that was lifted off the ground, and that was the time of the cicadas.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So one of them damn cicadas got into the tent. So my the other girl's mom, she said, "Mom, what is that?" That sucker was that big, and it was just turning around and looking. And then she gets up and she hits it with a shoe. The thing got down and he jumped back like this. Girl, I was like, oh my God, we got to run out the damn. Oh my God, he was huge.
Yeah.
But they ugly, but they don't bite. They're just ugly, like I don't know what.
Yeah.
But that was one of my camping things that now when I go camping, mine's in a hotel. Hotel or either a cabin or a chalet. I like those.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna do no camping off the tents off the ground like that. That's not time I ever went camping like that, I think though. But otherwise than that, the lake and stuff was fun.
Yeah.
I don't want the fish either. Get the fish on the hook. Who wants to take that fish out?
None of that.
No.
No, ma'am.
You like bugs either, do you? Me either. I don't like bugs either. But I do like to ride my bike when I used to have it all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't rode my bike in years. My husband's ride his bike up and down Cincinnati too. So we have a bike in the garage we never even use.
Yeah.
You ride bikes?
I like to ride a bike, but I like motorcycles.
Do you have a motorcycle?
I used to have motorcycles, but I sold it, and then I'm planning on getting another one next year.
Okay.
So me and my husband, we both rode.
Okay.
So we both ride, not rode, but we both ride. Yep. I
How
love
cool is
motorcycles.
that?
Yeah.
Girl
He
power.
actually taught me how to ride, and then I took the class. And then I got my license, and then I had like 3 bikes, 3 motorcycles, and then we had like our own little motorcycle club. We got the vest and everything.
What
Like,
happened? You guys get rid of it?
no, we got the vest. So we're gonna be trying to bring all that stuff back.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just fun. We just had so much fun because
Can we get one? Motorcycle?
Motorcycle?
I mean, it's so freeing. Like, I love it, and I just like hanging with the fellas.
Yeah.
They just so much fun, and hang.
Yes, girls are fun too.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of girl, motorcycle crews and bikes and all that stuff, but it was, I don't know, the guys are just,
I wouldn't mind learning how to ride a motorcycle.
yeah, it was real.
I want to see your husband. I'm gonna maybe he can talk me into or try to help me figure out, bring something out of my mind of what I want to put on my body.
He's really good with that. Like, if
Because
you,
I don't
yeah,
know.
if you just kind of talk about something, he'll just like sketch something up, and then like you guys can like figure it out, and he can make changes. He's really, really good with pulling stuff out.
Because once you put there, and my mom's talking about getting a tattoo. So, we might
So
go
maybe
see
y'all
him.
should do it together.
Yeah, but I think she knows what she wants. I just don't know.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to help me bring something something out of my mind and what I want.
Definitely.
Shannon, this was fun. Oh my God.
Thank
Did you
you.
feel?
Thank you for having
Did you
me.
feel comfortable?
I did.
It was so comfortable.
I can do this all
Girlfriend
for
chat.
2 hours.
That's it. Talk about all kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then you realize you got so much things in common with
Yeah.
somebody. It's like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, as we always do in the show right now, we want to thank Shannon for coming to our show and hanging with us and giving us all kinds of information. Now, what we're going to do is plug in her information on some of these screens. I think I'm in a couple groups or whatever. I think I am. And YouTube channel. So if you guys ever want to reach her, you guys can reach her on Facebook and Instagram. We'll plug that in for you guys. So, as always, thank you for hanging us. Bye-bye, Girlfriendz Chat Corner.
Thank you.